All right. So it's been a long day, and we have heard so much rich, interesting, deep insights. Laureates, esteemed ministers, policymakers, board members, Udan Prize team, and education champions from Hong Kong and all around the world. Welcome to this session. It's such a privilege to anchor the learning playground. We actually are in the business of early learning. We work with children under 6. We work with 300,000 of their government daycare workers, almost 1.5 million parents. And so we are really looking at play every day. That's how children learn. That's how their brains are built. And we think that applies to adults too. So as we've heard from the day to day, I hope that we can use the next hour to really bring all those learnings together, to reflect, share. We heard so much about listening from the last panel. I hope that we can spend the next hour listening to ourselves, to each other, and really think of how today's learning will carry forward for the next year to come and the years to come after that. So I hope that for the next hour, we'll actually be able to move a bit, we'll be able to talk a bit, and this will make both the adult learner inside you, but also the inner 5-year-old very, very happy. On to Ratna with the fun part.
Thank you. Let's go to the playground. Good afternoon, everyone. As Namya mentioned, we're from Rocket Learning, and so our day jobs are to think about play. So today we want to take everyone to the playground and start with a mood meter to get a sense of where everyone in the room is at currently. We want you to take a moment to check in with yourself and assess whether you are high energy, pumped up from the learnings of the day, ready for the afternoon, and ready for the afternoon keynote. Whether you're medium, learned a lot, but starting to taper off, or whether you're low energy and could use a little boost. So I'll ask you to reflect on that. And in a moment, I will request you to stand. If you're feeling high energy, I'd like you to pantomime that you're on a swing. So you're going to rock your feet back and forth, hold your ropes, and swing forward and backward. If you are feeling medium, we're going to slide you from low back up to high energy. So you're going to do a sliding motion. And if you're a little low energy, we're going to roll our arms together and get that energy back up. So please join me in standing, everyone.
Everybody who's still coming in, please join a table. We would love you to join a table. There's spots near the front.
All right, so where are my high energy learners at today? If you're feeling high energy, pumped and ready to go, let's give us a swing. Oh, lots of us. I love it. I would say that's 70 to 80%.
This is a very high energy group. The education talking is getting everyone fired up.
If you are medium energy right now, so you've had a good day, but maybe need a little boost to get you back up to that swing, let's slide. So start from high to low. Yeah. If you're somewhere between high and medium, I see a lot of folks doing. And then if you are low but you need a little boost, then let's do the carousel. So I think everyone's practiced all the motions now. So maybe I'll do countdown, countdown 3, 2, 1, and then do the motion that best describes where you're at right now. So 3, 2, 1. Let's see your vote. Okay, great. We've got a wonderful playground going. Lots of rides. I see a lot of high energy. We love that. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, so good to see that the energy is already high in the room. We're going to just do a quick, actually you can sit for this part. So just to make sure that we're here for the rest of the afternoon, just going to ask you to start by tapping your knees. And then work your way up. And And then tap your sides. And then your arms, I'm going to have you demo this for me, and say, "This is my energy."
This is my energy.
Woohoo! Thank you, everyone.
So we've listened to experts, we've listened to researchers and practitioners and teachers and policymakers. We've now listened to our bodies. We've checked in with ourselves, with our energy. We've brought our energy up. I think now it's time to listen to each other. So you're already on tables. Sitting with you is a wealth of information, experience, and knowledge that we hope to bring together to end the day. So you'll see on your table, there are crayons, color pencils. I think all of you have pens already. So pick your favorite writing instrument. There are 2 posters that have 4 sessions, 4 themes, right? 4 sections. 3 of the themes reflect the panels that we've heard today. So the future of education, is about AI, tech, data, how we're looking at things going forward that are new. Building the foundation is about building the collective action, the collaborations, the partnerships that we'll need to actually make a difference for our children around the world. And then bringing it back to people, to leadership, to building agents of change wherever we are, throughout where we are. There's also a last section, which is about what we haven't heard today, because it's impossible to capture the complexities and challenges of the work we do in a single day. So I hope you'll bring up new themes that perhaps we haven't listened to enough or brought up enough today. You'll have about 15 minutes to do this. You'll do it on your table. We hope that you can actually pick, divide into groups of 2 or 3 based on what speaks most to you out of these 4 themes. And then with your subgroup, write down the takeaways you have from the day. If they're table leaders, we hope that you'll facilitate creating these groups and also picking a presenter, because in the end, we'll all come back together and share back what we've heard so that we can all benefit from each other's listening and curiosity and experiences. So if you have any questions, Ratna and I will be milling around. The table hosts, of course, are fully know what's happening. The Edan Prize team is also there, so please call us if there's any questions you might have about this. But now over to you for the next 15 minutes. I'll keep giving reminders of when it's 10 minutes left, 5 minutes left, so that we know when to wrap up the discussion and put down the takeaways. We're so excited to hear from you.
So that I can translate it?
Yes, yes. There's a chart paper with 4 sections. Put down the key takeaways about that discussion.
Okay. And the theme.
On the theme. There are 4
Anything about one of those?
Yes.
They write it down in small. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. We will be collecting the posters later, so please write legibly if you can.
All right, everyone, we've got 10 minutes to go. Loving all the energy. 5 more minutes, everyone. Okay, everyone, we're going to give you a few more minutes because we see some high energy conversations happening. And then we're going to ask a few tables to volunteer to share. So please also be thinking about one or two most important takeaways you'd like to share with the larger group.
Hi, everyone. I see some really deep conversations, but we have 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. In those 2 minutes, please think about if you would like to volunteer to share back with the rest of the group what you've learned and heard. And if so, who on the table would like to share? "30 seconds more. Please do wrap up the conversation you're having. We'll start with the share back soon. All right. What was that person's name? The last presenter? Uska naam nahi aaya. Okay, back to Mission Impossible. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're ready for the share back. Could I request everybody to please bring your attention back? Okay, I think we heard, Ratna and I, we overheard some really interesting conversations. Could I request everybody to please bring the energy back to the main group? We would love to now hear from some of you on these important themes. Would any group like to volunteer to share back with the group? If you could maybe raise your hands and we can call on you. There are some mics in the audience that can go to you. Come on, we're all teachers, we're all students. Table 9, thank you for volunteering. If you could share maybe the top 2 or 3 conversations you had or takeaways, reflections.
Hello, we are group 9. So we think the core of the issue is at the university admission level. Because if universities still admit students according to score only, the teacher will only teach according to scores. But there's a good opportunity. I know some universities are already thinking of breaking down the faculties, because all faculties now using AI to do their research and write their paper. So when you open up the AI chat box, it doesn't matter whether it's a geography problem or a history problem or a physics problem. So we think the future of education will be first breaking down disciplinary walls in university, middle school, and primary schools. And then that will facilitate our learning, turning from a subject-based learning into project-based learning, and that can in turn help our students with well-being, especially mental health well-being. And then to build a foundation of that, teacher training is really the key, because a lot of the teacher does not have the skill or does not have the courage to go into project-based learning, because they find often textbook is their comfort zone, is the source of comfort zone. And in my own school, I mean, we now invented like co-teaching for project-based learning, and many teachers haven't been having the experience of co-teaching. And then AI that can help a lot of teachers to learn these new skills as well. So teacher will become facilitator and co-explorer with the student rather than teaching them content. And bringing back to the people, since at the AI age, we think that skill is more important than knowledge itself. If universities are using AI to do their research, then it doesn't matter which age you do. I mean, skill just like driving, right? If you go for a driving lesson, it doesn't matter whether you're 18 years old or 80 years old. So basically, we'll have more mixed age class. So it will become a 0 to 100-year-old school, a school for 0 to 100 years old, rather than school for certain age students. And then, but we're still thinking about, I mean, if we identify the problem, everything comes from the university admission policies, right? So for so many countries, so for so many centuries, university admit students based on scores. So how do we change that? And then, because we also recognize that, at least in my schools and some of the schools we share on this table, some parents thinking that spending millions to go into university but end up with jobs replaced by AI is meaningless. It's not worth the investment. So some parents were actually telling their kids, no need to go to university, but go directly to the job market. Then how we can change the HR recruitment policy for those employers, saying that your competency scorecard is more important than a big name university graduate certificate. If we can change that, then we can change the education to meet the future of our AI age. That is our group's findings.
Thank you, Table 9. All right, would somebody else like to volunteer? I see table 16.
Okay, well, hi everyone. So our team talked a lot about the importance of where is the camera? Talked a lot about the importance of relationship. I think a lot of so we think that a lot of the importance in both the future of education and also building a foundation, especially in the early years, is really to not replace human, especially even on the very basic daily routine tasks with AI, but rather really view relationship as something developmental to our children. Also, regarding especially on the systemic level of early education, we understand that it requires a governmental effort to make sure that the early educators are well paid, that people in even rural areas are able to go to access quality early education, and really to ensure that people who are supporting the early education, like our kindergarten teachers, are sort of paid fairly and is well trained. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sorry.
Round of applause, please. All right. I think I see table 13.
Thanks. So thank you. So our table, all our members were under active discussions, and I think I'll just pass the mic around. I'll bring out one point, which is the importance of technological equity to provide access to the latest and greatest tools for our learners, our teachers and the learners to learn, and also not only the technology itself, but culturally relevant tools. You know, people who speak the language, we want tools that support that language. And also moving towards personalization in learning. so that the tools now, they can respond after receiving user input, they can respond in a personalized manner so that we can tailor to every single learner's learning needs.
Talking about the building foundations with values, we emphasize and also values the human values and also the ethics in our learning. And we think that we teachers better create a more flat rather than a hierarchies interactive platform to interact with teachers and also students, so the student can share the emotions of in a safe environment instead of teacher as authority. And also we talk about something about building trust and also among different stakeholders, and also develop a safe platforms when the students access to any AIs, materials, and tools.
Okay. We also touch upon on the point that how technology can actually help teachers to really do the job, to interact with students, to model behaviors, to kind of coach or even mentor students. With the support of AI, we allow teachers to free up their time in doing marking, some very tedious job in admin work, report generating, communicating with parents with emails. So all these tasks, when AI can help relieve teachers' workload, then teachers can really do their job to teach students and to help our students grow. Instead of remaining as a knowledge transferer, we become facilitators of learning and coaching our students to give them the skills and attitude and values that cannot be replaced by AI.
Thank you so much. Big round of applause, please. Okay, table 18, please.
Hello, everybody. So our table took a bit of a different approach. We have 8 individuals, some that didn't know each other before today, and I think this is representative of a school environment. And what is it that, as we lean into this, this age of AI, what is important? And the question around the questions are up there, around what is it that we need to ensure the social, emotional capabilities and mental health, the psychological well-being of the students? And that's things like this, because this is the real world. You're going to be placed in a table, in a room, with strangers, that you're going to need to develop your own ideas. And how do you develop ideas? The term that was put out on this table was the ping pong approach. And that is, one's here, has an idea, and we had this back and forth. I listened to something that I really resonated with that Kieran had shared, and we had differing opinions about it. We went back and forth. Neither was right or wrong, but at the end of it, we grew as individuals. So when we lead, and another point that came up was around, AI is not going to be the be-all and end-all. Just like when the internet came out, however many years ago, we thought that was it. And now look where we're at, right? So we're leaning into uncertainty. And when we lean into uncertainty, what do we need? We need safety. We need a secure base. So what does that secure base look like? And that is, full circle, that is education. Did I cover everything? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that wonderful reflection.
Thank you. I think that's actually all we have time for, but thank you for sharing. Please continue the conversations as you go forward. Or maybe actually we can hear from one more group, but very short, please. Maybe in 30 seconds, we would love to hear from you as well.
All right, so my name is Ilnur. As a teacher sitting at this table, I just want to say a few things, because it seems like, sometimes teachers are not really represented at different panels, or most about, who are the main stakeholders. For me, I think they should be still teachers because we work with students, we teach them, and we know what problems they're going through and what challenges they are faced with. So I think when it comes to AI, we need to embrace AI. We can't just close the doors and say, sorry guys, we're still not ready. But the problem is AI should, it's about the teacher training. If teachers know how to use AI tools and also train the students, that's also important. And also, it's about, we talked about accessibility and also how AI tools are equitable. So, because people come from different backgrounds, if they're able to buy, if they're able to access them at the same level as other students. And also, because another thing we talked about is about social emotional learning, because we can't just ask AI to do everything, and we still think that teachers are irreplaceable, teachers are here to stay, but AI will act as some tools, providing with some tools to facilitate and learning process in general. And so social emotional learning is also important because we talked a lot about students' well-being. And if you look at the numbers, Hong Kong, we have lots of challenges and problems that Hong Kong, the education sector in Hong Kong is facing these days. And we have to do something. And I think AI can help us with that regard. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. Thank
We're so
you.
grateful for...
I think we heard so many rich insights from the room. I'm so happy we were able to also hear everyone's voices. We heard from foundational learning, paying kindergarten teachers well, up to university admissions, how we can get people into livelihoods. We heard about the real world, sitting across the room from somebody to have a conversation. And we also heard about the promise of artificial intelligence to bring more joy, more connection, rather than that taking away the connection. So it's such a pleasure to be here and to facilitate the conversations. I'm sure the next day will also bring many of these. The very last thing we wanted to do, I think you would have seen these postcards on the table. There are enough for everyone, so I hope everybody can take one of these.
And we love the reflective spirit with which we wrapped up this session. It's time to move to the next session, but before you walk out of the door today, please take one of these personalized postcards and write yourself a message about what you're still thinking about. What reflections are you still thinking about, and what are you still sitting with? And on your way out, please make sure you write your address, leave it with the reception, and the team will be sending these to you at a future date. Thank you so much for having fun with us today. We really appreciate your energy.